Kong is running late for work. He jumps into his car, flying down the hill, and slams his foot on the brakes. But nothing happens. Instead, a glowing red message flashes on his dashboard. Error, brake subscription expired. Please update payment method. As Kong violently crashes into a corporate billboard, remember this: you don't own your life anymore, and the megacorps are coming for whatever you have left. There used to be a very simple rule in the US jungle. If you bought something with your hard-earned bananas, it belonged to you forever. You could repair it, sell it, or smash it with a hammer. It was yours. But the tech giants hated this system. Why? Because selling you a product once is terrible for business. They realized that a one-time purchase puts a hard limit on their profits. So they orchestrated the greatest financial heist in modern history. They stopped selling you products and started renting you access to your own life. Welcome to the subscription trap, a dystopian nightmare where the middle class is slowly bled dry by 1,000 tiny, recurring microtransactions. It started innocently enough with Netflix and Spotify. You paid $10 a month for infinite movies and music. Sounded like a great deal, right? But then the megacorps realized the average monkey is incredibly forgetful and too lazy to cancel anything. That's when the greed went into hyperdrive. The infection spread from digital media into the physical world. Let's talk about your car. For almost a century, when you bought a car, the physical hardware inside it belonged to you. The engine, the steering wheel, the seats. But then luxury brands like BMW decided that making a $70,000 profit on a vehicle just wasn't enough to satisfy their shareholders. In 2022, BMW introduced an absolutely insane concept: a monthly subscription fee just to use the heated seats in your own car. They commanded 18 bananas a month to activate a feature that you had already physically purchased. Let that sink in for a second. The heating coils, the wiring, the buttons, they were already completely installed in the factory. You already paid for the manufacturing and the materials. But BMW put a digital padlock on the software, holding your own physical property for a monthly ransom. It is digital extortion. And because of massive public backlash, they eventually backed down. But don't be fooled, the floodgates were already opened. Because Mercedes-Benz watched this and said, "Hold my beer." They introduced a subscription that affects the actual performance of the engine. For a casual 1,200 bananas a year, they will unlock acceleration increase. They literally software locked the horsepower of the electric motors you already own. If Kong tries to merge onto the highway and needs to accelerate quickly to avoid a crash, the car basically tells him, "Sorry, your credit card declined." Toyota did the exact same thing. They started charging $8 a month just to use the remote start button on the key fob, a button that transmits a basic radio signal locally. No cloud servers required, just pure, unadulterated corporate greed. You are paying a monthly rent to use the physical buttons on the key that is currently sitting in your own pocket. It's a terrifying precedent. If they can lock the horsepower of your car behind a paywall, what is stopping them from locking the steering wheel? But the automotive industry is just learning from the masters of this scam, the software companies. Enter Adobe. Remember when you could just walk into a store, buy Photoshop on a disk, and own it forever? Those days are dead and buried. Adobe completely changed the game by forcing millions of creatives into the Creative Cloud subscription model. You pay forever, or you lose your tools. Kong is a freelance designer. He relies on these tools to feed his family. He has no choice but to pay $60 a month every single month. But what happens when the freelance work dries up and Kong tries to cancel his subscription to save money? That's when the trap violently snaps shut. Adobe slaps him with an extortionate early termination fee. They literally fine him hundreds of dollars just for the privilege of stopping his payments. The US government actually had to sue them over this deceptive practice. It's like the mafia charging you a fee for leaving their protection racket. But if you think software subscriptions are evil, they are absolutely nothing compared to the printer industry. Hewlett-Packard, better known as HP, has engineered one of the most anti-consumer schemes in the history of capitalism. They force you into an instant ink subscription. You don't buy the ink cartridges anymore, you pay a monthly fee for the right to print a specific number of pages.
If Kong signs up, they mail him the ink. The cartridge sits perfectly full inside the printer, on his desk, in his house. But if his credit card expires, or if he tries to cancel the subscription, the printer connects to the internet and bricks the cartridge. The ink is physically there, but the software refuses to let the machine use it until Kong pays his monthly ransom. And if he tries to be smart and buy third-party, cheaper ink at the store, HP uses invasive firmware updates to permanently block the printer from working. They are actively sabotaging hardware that you own, inside your own house, because you refuse to participate in their subscription monopoly. This is how they bleed the middle class dry. They break the cost down into tiny psychological traps. It's only $9.99 a month. The brain sees $10 and thinks it's a cheap cup of coffee. It entirely fails to comprehend the annual burden of $120. Now multiply that by the streaming services, the software, the car features, the fitness apps, the cloud storage, and the premium delivery. Kong is suddenly spending $2,000 every single year on phantom services that disappear the second he stops paying. He is building zero equity. You are renting a lifestyle. And if you miss a paycheck, the megacorps will instantly repossess every single convenience you rely on. And they make it intentionally impossible to leave. This is a deliberate psychological strategy known as dark patterns. Signing up for a subscription takes one single click and facial recognition. It is frictionless, fast, and easy. But trying to cancel? You have to navigate a maze of hidden menus, call a retention hotline, and verbally argue with an offshore agent. They are weaponizing your own fatigue against you. They know that if they make the cancellation process painful enough, you'll just give up. You tell yourself, I'll just cancel it next month. And they feast on that exact procrastination. But the trap gets even deeper. But the megacorps didn't stop at digital software or car parts. They realized they could tax your laziness too. Enter the delivery pass illusion. Amazon Prime, Uber Eats One, Dashboard Dash Pass, they all sell you the exact same lie. They tell Kong, pay us $10 a month and you will get free delivery on everything. It sounds like a financial no-brainer. He thinks he's outsmarting the system by saving $4 on delivery fees. But the system is playing 4D chess with his brain. Once Kong has the subscription, a psychological shift happens. He feels obligated to order expensive delivery food just to make the subscription worth it. He ends up spending $800 a month on cold, overpriced tacos just to save $20 on shipping. It is absolute mathematical madness. Amazon built a trillion-dollar empire on this exact psychological glitch. Prime isn't a delivery service, it's an impulsive shopping membership. You are literally paying them a monthly fee for the privilege of buying more of their useless junk. But wait, it gets even more invasive. Let's talk about the hardware inside your own home, the smart home trap. You go to the store and spend $200 on a brand new Ring doorbell or a Nest security camera to protect your family. You physically install it on your own wall. It uses your own electricity and your own home Wi-Fi. But when someone steals a package from your porch and you try to check the video recording to catch the thief, a massive paywall blocks the screen. You must have a premium cloud subscription to view past recordings. You already bought the camera, you're capturing the video on your own property, but Amazon and Google hold your own footage hostage. If you refuse to pay the monthly ransom, your $200 security system becomes nothing more than a glorified dumb doorbell. They force you into a perpetual renting state. You are renting the functionality of the hardware that is screwed into your own brick wall. It's absolutely brilliant for the corporations and completely devastating for your wealth-building potential. But the subscription trap doesn't end with software, deliveries, or hardware. It comes for the American dream. The ultimate subscription is housing, and Wall Street knows it. Mega firms like BlackRock and Vanguard aren't just buying stocks anymore. They're buying entire neighborhoods of single-family homes. They swoop into the market with billions of dollars in pure cash, outbidding regular families like Kong's by 20% over asking price. Why do they want the houses? So they can completely eliminate the concept of home ownership for the middle class. If they buy all the supply, you have no choice but to rent them forever. It's the exact same Adobe subscription model but applied to your shelter. Kong used to dream of paying off a mortgage and passing the equity down to his cubs, building generational wealth. Now he's trapped paying a massive monthly rent to a faceless corporation that raises the price by 10% every single year. The megacorps have figured out the ultimate hack. If you own nothing, you can never stop working. The everything is a service economy is not about convenience. It is about absolute total control over your cash flow. They don't want you to have savings. They want your bank account to be a transit station where money arrives on payday and immediately leaves to pay 15 different subscriptions. You are being farmed. You are a biological subscription-paying unit for the ruling class. Think about the psychological weight of this. Every month, the first week of Kong's labor doesn't even belong to him.
It belongs to the landlord, to Netflix, to Adobe, to BMW, to Amazon. He is literally working in digital servitude. And the worst part is, they have normalized it. They brainwashed society into thinking that this is just the modern way to live. Why buy a car when you can lease it? Why buy a house when renting is so flexible? Why own a DVD when streaming is so easy? It's not flexible for you, it's flexible for them to raise the price on you at any second they want. If you own a house, your mortgage payment is locked in for 30 years. Inflation destroys the bank's profit and helps you. But if you rent, inflation is immediately passed on to you. Your rent goes up and the corporation gets richer. Kong finally sits down at his desk and decides to do the math. The brutal, terrifying math of his monthly subscriptions. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Amazon Prime, gym membership, car features, cloud storage, delivery passes, software tools. The number stares back at him. $450 every single month. $5,400 a year, just vanishing into thin air. If Kong had invested that $450 a month into an S&P 500 index fund instead of renting a lifestyle, over 30 years, that $450 a month would grow into over $900,000, almost $1 million bananas. Kong realizes he is literally trading his millionaire retirement for the ability to watch The Office and get cold tacos delivered. It's the worst financial trade in human history, and almost everyone watching this video is currently making it. The megacorps have built an invisible prison around you. The bars aren't made of steel, they are made of $9.99 monthly charges. And because each bar is so thin, you never notice you are trapped until the door completely locks behind you. Kong feels a surge of absolute fury. He is sick of being milked like a cow for Wall Street. He refuses to participate in the you will own nothing dystopia. It's time to break out of the matrix. But how do you escape a trap that is literally baked into the modern economy? How do you take your ownership back? It requires a massive psychological reset. You have to stop falling for the convenience bait. Kong realizes the only way to win the game is to stop playing by their rules entirely. The first step to breaking out of the subscription trap is brutal, unapologetic honesty. You have to face the monster. Kong sits down and performs a subscription audit. He prints out his last 3 months of bank statements. He is horrified. He finds a gym membership he hasn't used in 2 years, 3 different streaming services, and a premium delivery pass. Every single one of these companies relies on your apathy. They are banking on the fact that you are too tired after work to click cancel. But Kong implements the 72-hour rule. If he hasn't physically used a subscription service in the last 72 hours, it gets brutally executed. Now comes the hard part. The corporations will fight back. They will deploy every dark psychological trick to keep the IV drip in your arm. When he hits cancel on Adobe or Amazon, they hit him with the "Are you sure?" screen. They offer him 2 months free, desperately begging him to stay. It's a trap. A temporary discount just delays the bleeding. Kong ignores the guilt trip and severs the connection permanently. Next, he starts replacing rented conveniences with physical ownership. He deletes Uber Eats and buys groceries. He rips out his smart security camera and installs a dumb camera,
one that saves footage directly to a physical hard drive in his own house. He buys physical tools. He cancels his software subscriptions and buys one-time purchase alternatives. Suddenly, a massive psychological weight is lifted off his shoulders. He realizes that true freedom isn't about how much money you make. True freedom is having extremely low monthly overhead. It's about how little you owe to the system on the first day of every month. If your monthly overhead is $6,000 because of car leases, luxury rent, and 50 different subscriptions, you are a slave. You can never quit your job. You can never take a risk. You can never say no to your boss because you need that cash flow to feed the megacorps. But if Kong slashes his overhead, if he owns his car, buys his software once, and cuts the fat, he becomes untouchable. Corporate America is absolutely terrified of a middle class with low monthly expenses because a monkey that doesn't owe them money cannot be controlled. The entire subscription economy was designed to keep you on a treadmill, running forever, generating power for them, but never actually moving forward. They want you stressed, renting, and dependent. They want you to believe that true ownership is obsolete. But ownership is the only true way to build wealth. Every dollar you don't send to a corporation is a dollar that buys your freedom back. So do your own audit today. Look at your bank account and find the vampires draining your life force. Cancel the gym. Cancel the streaming service you haven't watched in a month. Cancel the premium delivery. Take that $50, $100, or $300 a month and invest it into yourself. Buy assets, not digital rent. Let me know in the comments right now, what is the most ridiculous subscription you are currently paying for? We need to expose these hidden fees so everyone can wake up and cut the cord. The Matrix lies to you every single day. They want you distracted, broke, and paying a monthly fee just to exist. But Kong isn't going anywhere. We are going to rip the mask off every scam they throw at the middle class. If you want to survive the financial slaughterhouse, smash the like button to break the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and join the army of unbrainwashed monkeys. Stop renting your life. Take back your ownership. Kong will see you in the next video.